Have you ever felt like you just weren't good enough at something, even despite people telling you time and time again that you did great? Because you might be dealing with perfectionism just like me. Don't worry, I've been there, but we're gonna talk about it in this video. We're gonna talk about how perfectionism can show up in our lives, why it's not really that great, and also how to break free from it. Perfectionism strikes again. This is literally me sitting in a moment of perfectionism, trying to just get the video started. Like, I've been trying to record this beginning of the video for like the past 5 minutes now, but I keep getting in my head and overthinking it. Let's talk about it. This video is all about perfectionism, how it can hinder us from accomplishing our goals, how it can prevent us from being great, and how we can actually break free from it. Let's get into it. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel. I'm happy to have you here. We are talking about perfectionism. This has been a topic that I've been thinking about for a long time, probably since I started this channel. And I'm not just talking about wanting to do well. I'm talking about that perfectionism that is rooted in fear, whether it's the fear of judgment or the fear of failure, fear of rejection, all of that. That's what I'm talking about here. I wanted to talk about this specifically because I feel like perfectionism can be so paralyzing. I've definitely had my fair share of battles with perfectionism, and I think even to this day, like, it's always something that I'm constantly fighting against. Even with this channel, it was about 1.5 years before I finally decided to actually make the channel and start the channel, make the videos and all of that. And it was nerve-wracking for me because I didn't feel like it was going to be good enough. I didn't feel fully prepared. I didn't feel like I had enough of the answers that I needed in order to actually start and walk this thing out. Looking back, I feel like I wasted so much time, and I didn't. You know, I'm able to process that and know that it's in the right timing. Everything happened for a reason and it's fine. But when I reflect back on why I didn't start at the time that I wanted to, or at the time that I had the idea to start in the first place, it's because of perfectionism. It's because of fear. It's because I didn't have the answers that I ultimately didn't even need to have in the first place. I want to talk about it because there might be some other people out there who are dealing with perfectionism as well. So it's a conversation worth having, and I want to put my thoughts out there. I want to let you know some of the things that I've been researching, the things that I've been thinking about, and also a scripture that is helping me kind of refocus and reshift my mindset a little bit on the way that I see perfectionism and my flaws or weaknesses. I've been on this whole journey of my dream life, you know, thinking about what goals that I have for the year of 2025, and then how can I make a plan to actually accomplish those goals so that I don't have a repeat of all of the years where I want to do something but I don't take any action steps to actually make it happen. I know that sometimes perfectionism gets in the way of that. It's like you have this goal, but because you don't feel like what you're about to do or produce will be perfect, you don't even bother doing it at all. Like, that is so paralyzing. You know, sometimes we feel like the plan that we have for something isn't going to be good enough. We might fail, we might make mistakes, and we might be seen by other people making those mistakes. Now we're afraid of rejection, we're afraid of failure. Then it gets in the way of us even walking in it at all. I talked in my last video about how I'm trying to get back on track and I have this mid-year reset because the goals that I established for myself have been falling off and I just haven't really been getting things done. I did have reasons for kind of taking a step back and not really putting as much into those goals, but there are some goals that I have that I can tell I'm procrastinating on, and the thing about it is I'm procrastinating out of fear. I'm procrastinating out of the fear that, okay, if I do this and then I don't stay consistent, now I failed. Before I even started this channel, like from that 1.5 years of not starting the channel, I was procrastinating. I was putting something off out of the fear that if I started doing this thing, people were gonna talk about me, people were gonna judge, I wasn't gonna stay consistent enough, I would start and then stop, and now everybody's seen me fail. But these were the fears that I had that ultimately kept me from even doing the very thing that I wanted to do at that time. And it's interesting too, because it's like, I know at the end of the day, like, let's be real, it's never going to be perfect, but I want it to be as close to perfect as it possibly can be so that nobody looking at it thinks, oh wow, look at how imperfect that is. But that's ridiculous because that's fear of judgment. That's fear of something that's not even in my control anyway. Also for me, like, I've always been someone who I don't like making mistakes. There's probably not a lot of people out here who would say they actually enjoy making mistakes, but I know for me, like, I severely cringe from me making a mistake. Like, I don't like it. The way everybody says that you're supposed to learn from your mistakes, I don't like to hear that, but it is such good advice, and it is so important to learn that your mistakes are actually going to teach you. Is it fun making a mistake? No. But the quicker you make that mistake, the quicker you'll be able to learn from it and do something different the next time. A few signs of perfectionism that you might be able to notice, at least for myself, is overthinking. Like, I overthink a lot. Always being super self-critical. I can find anything wrong with something that I do. But why am I always looking for something wrong? I shouldn't always be looking for something wrong. Also, the procrastination. I might be sometimes calling it preparation. Oh, I'm not prepared enough. Oh, I'm not this. No, you're just putting it off because you're afraid. You're as prepared as you're gonna be. You can't read any more books to learn it. You can't watch any more videos about it. That was one of the things that I even was doing with this channel. I was watching so many people's videos on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram or whatever, trying to learn about doing this rather than actually just doing it. All I needed to do was just start and learn from there. And as I started the channel and as I posted the videos, I started to learn more about what I like to talk about, what I don't like to talk about, what type of videos I like to create, what type of videos I don't like to create. Ultimately, it all boiled down to me being afraid that I would come up with the excuse that, oh, I'm just trying to get more prepared. No, I'm procrastinating. I'm putting it off because I feel like as soon as I start, everybody else is going to see the imperfection that's within me. And yes, they are. But that's the point. The point is not for you to reach perfection, because you won't. The point is for you to get the process started. When I speak against perfectionism, I'm not saying go out here and try to be subpar. I'm not saying go out here and try to do the bare minimum and do as little as you can. The point is to recognize that if you are beating yourself up trying to reach an unattainable level of perfection, then you are going to keep yourself unhappy. You will be suffering in silence, and I don't want that for me or you. So a few tips that I have for empowering yourself to break free from perfectionism. Number one is simple as this: be kind to yourself. Watch the way that you talk to yourself, because I know how it can be when you're caught up in this idea of perfectionism and you are constantly speaking down on yourself, telling yourself that what you did wasn't enough, it wasn't good enough, ain't nobody gonna watch it. Those limiting beliefs I talked about a few videos ago, we talked about how we changed those from limiting to empowering, so go watch that if you haven't seen it. But switch up the way that you talk to yourself. We don't need this negative talk anymore. We get enough of that from the world, so we don't need it from ourselves. Be compassionate to yourself. Like, speak to yourself the way that you would speak to a friend. If you would tell your friend that they're doing great and you're encouraging them, you're doing amazing, sweetie, that's what you need to tell yourself. There is so much power in the way that you talk to yourself. The second thing that I would say is to start without feeling ready. You will never feel like you have everything together. You will never feel like you are ready. So now is as good a time as ever to just start with what you have. It is progress over perfection. Another thing, I talk about this too, celebrate your small wins. Simple as that. Pat on the back. Reward yourself. Something. And the last thing that I want to leave you with is a scripture that I often find myself leaning on whenever I feel like I'm not good enough or what I have to offer doesn't work. It is out of 2 Corinthians chapter 12. It's verse 9 through 10. It says, "But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong." And I love that scripture because it really just lets you know that it's okay to feel like you have weakness. It's okay to feel like I'm not 100% great at every single thing that I'm doing, because it literally says that Christ's power is made perfect in weakness. What feels like a weakness to me, what feels like a mistake, what feels like limitations for me is really something that God can work with, because it literally says, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses. I don't boast about my weaknesses. When I feel like I'm not good at something, I'm frustrated in that. I'm not excited about that. But I think this specific scripture kind of helps me reframe my mindset a little bit and think like I can be happy about those weaknesses, because I know that in those moments of having those weaknesses, that's where God will show up and show out. I know I don't really enjoy these weaknesses, but I need to look at them differently, because when I see them as the very thing that will allow God's power to rest on my life, will allow his glory to be shown through my life, I can get excited about those weaknesses. All right, y'all, so that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're also struggling with perfectionism, let me know some of the ways that you are breaking free from it. What are some of the things that you're doing? What are some of the lessons that you've learned that you might want to share? Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Bye.